See how the colors dance before your eyes. Deep green. Restful green. As soft and deep as a field of high, tall grass. To nestle in. Rest in. Sleep in. Wake up now, Victoria. How's your headache? Any better?
Headache? But it's gone. Janet, you hypnotized me. Where did you learn to do a thing like that?
In the Far East, from an old man who worked in my father's mission. As a matter of fact, he was Key's uncle. Oh, incidentally, speaking of the Far East, I must show you some things we just imported from Hong Kong.
Oh, I'd love to see them.
Will you excuse us? I'm sure you gentlemen would enjoy nothing better than a few cigars and man talk.
Ah, the lady's a fortune teller, too.
I have been looking for a chance to talk a little business with you, Jared.
And I've been waiting for you to offer me one of those expensive cigars of yours. Ah, here we are. You know, it smells almost too good to smoke. Almost, but not quite. Now, what was that business deal you wanted to discuss?
I think you'll find it interesting and profitable. You may or may not know that I've been dabbling in the rice market.
Oh? No, I didn't know.
I hear tell that you're expecting 2 shiploads of rice from Hong Kong. I'd like to buy them. It's the tongue.
Come in. Well. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Fine.
Come on in. Sit down.
Thank you.
Can I offer you something to drink?
Oh, nothing, thank you.
All right, then I've got a better idea. How about lunch? I'm right in the middle of making out a will, and you know how dull that can be, don't you, Counselor?
Gerald, I came on business.
All right, right after lunch.
No. I think what we have to say to each other better be said here, in your office.
All right, Mike, sit down.
Thank you.
Fire away.
Jared, I know you had dinner with Warren Masters last night. I also know the Tong showed up.
That's true.
I don't have to tell you the Tong and the Chinese League are miles apart. We don't believe in violence or terror.
I think I know that, Mike.
The hatchet display. That was a warning from the Tong, Jared, of things to come if Warren Masters succeeds in cornering the rice market. He did offer to buy your 2 shiploads of rice.
Yes, he did. But I don't see that that proves he's trying to corner the rice market.
Lawyer to lawyer and friend to friend, we're not going to get legal, are we, Jared? Masters has bought up every grain of rice he could find. If he gets your 2 boatloads, he'll have it all. He can force the price up and up and up.
I find that kind of hard to believe.
Nevertheless, that's exactly what he's trying to do. And if he does, the Tong will step in. It would be all they need to incite my people. Ever been in the middle of a Tong riot?
No, I can't say that I have. And I never will be if I can possibly help it.
You can help it. This is a standard contract, pledging you'll sell your rice to the Chinese League market price on arrival, if you sign it.
I think you ought to understand, Mike, that my mother retains control of our shipping interests. She'd have to sign it.
Your mother? I see.
No, I don't think you do see. If what you say about Warren Masters is true, I can guarantee you right here and now that we won't sell him so much as 1 grain of rice.
Your word's good enough for me, Jared. But my people will want to see your mother's name on this contract, and soon. So far, we've held the Tong in check. So far, we've convinced our people that we can improve our lot peaceably. But if Masters wins control of the rice market, the Tong and violence also wins control.
All right, now, what do you think? It's beautiful, Heath. He's a beautiful animal. I'll take him.
Well, he's yours. Shall I wrap him up? You want to ride him home?
I want you to wrap him in pink with a big bow. It's for Janet.
I'll see the boys brush him down real good.
Hey, Jared, the other night, before we were so rudely interrupted by the Tong, I was going to ask you whether...
Whether or not we'd sell you our 2 shiploads of rice.
Yeah. I can promise you a good, I think even a handsome profit.
Warren, is it true that you've bought up every grain of rice on the West Coast?
That's true, Jared.
So with ours, you'd have it all. Sort of become the emperor of rice.
Yeah, sort of.
Well, I think it's only fair to tell you that I've already pledged our rice to Mike Chang.
I don't understand. You mean you'd rather do business with hatchet men like the Tong?
Warren, you know I'm not doing business with a Tong. I said I was dealing with Mike Chang and the Chinese League. The only thing they're trying to do is get a fair shake for their people.
Look, Jared...
Against almost impossible odds, I might add.
I'm not anti-Chinese, and you know that.
No, you're not anti-Chinese. It's just that business is business.
Have you talked this over with Victoria?
He has. I brought some lemonade to cool both of you off. Warren, I can't be a party to your cornering the rice market.
Why, I'm not asking you to be a party to anything. Victoria, simply allow me the way you'd allow any legitimate dealer to bid for your rice.
No.
Victoria, every cent I have in the world, my house, my land, everything I own is tied up in this deal.
That was a mistake.
All right. All right. So you won't or you can't sell me your rice. I don't understand your position, morally or otherwise, but all right, I accept it. Sell your rice to the Chinese League, but will you hold up on the deal for just a few days? Will you do that for me, please?
Just long enough for you to make your killing?
I'm sorry, Warren.
All right. Just remember, anything that happens now, you forced me.
Is that a threat, Warren?
No. I'm sorry. I know what came over me. Forgive me, Victoria?
Of course.
I'd better go. Jared, about the horse, tell Heath to hold up on it for a few days. Why are you staring at me? Look as though you thought this was my fault. Did my best.
Yes, of course.
What do you expect me to do, hold a gun to their heads? Sorry. Didn't mean to shout. We could have sold our rice 3 days ago and made a fair profit. Now, when those Barclay ships dock and the rice goes on the open market, I warned you, Janet, if this thing backfired, it could cost you the clothes off your back.
Naked into the world I came, and naked I'll leave if need be. When I met you, I had nothing. I was just a missionary's daughter in a small Chinese village.
I remember. One of the first things I noticed about you was your wonderful smile.
Oh, yes? Maybe it was my early training. If your mission in life is to convert, you'd better act happy. Who wants to convert to misery? That was another time, another place. You opened my eyes to the world. And when I saw it, I wanted it.
We've had enough now, though, haven't we?
But you said that if we could pull this off, we'd be rich. Richer than the Barclays. I'd be richer than Victoria.
That was before I spoke to the Barclays, and they turned us down.
So now we just roll over and play dead, is that it? If Victoria were one of my oldest friends, I'd have found a way to make her cooperate.
You don't know her. As a matter of fact, I should have known better than to even ask.
Because of her innate decency, her morality, her breeding. She'd never stoop to such a scheme.
Yeah. That's the way you want to put it?
I'm going for a ride in the buggy.
Oh, come on.
No, you stay here. I want to think a few things through.
Kay. You mind sitting in here and talking to me for a few minutes? You pad around here, silent and inscrutable, hearing everything, I'm sure. Saying nothing. She can be pretty hard at times, can't she?
I'm very sorry.
Oh, take off the mask, Key. You know who I'm talking about. You know her better than I'll ever know her. Your mistress.
She has been very good to me. And her father, he was a prince amongst men, a god.
What was she like as a little girl?
She was very beautiful, as she is now.
I know that. I mean, underneath.
She's a very good person, my mistress. She has been a good friend.
If for some reason it would pay her to be an enemy, she could be quite a hunk of enemy, couldn't she?
I'm sorry. I do not understand.
Thanks, Key. Been very illuminating. No. Oh, please. No. Oh, no. Please. Oh, please.
Warren. Warren. Warren, darling. You're having a nightmare.
Oh. I dreamed you'd left me.
Now, why would I want to do a thing like that?
So much less than what you expected. Less than what I promised you. Janet, even if we do lose everything, I can still start over again. I'm still young.
If we had to, I would, and gladly. Why start over again when we're close? So close. Warren, have I been a good wife to you?
My darling, I can only tell you. When Edith died, I almost died too. And then meeting you, loving you, it's like being born again into a world I Never even dreamed about.
It can be better when we have the Barclay rice.
I told you, there's no way.
Warren, there is a way. Trust me, darling, I'm your wife. Your future is my future. It took boldness to try to corner the rice market. I loved you for that. That's the only way to get anything in this world is to be bold. The lion shall inherit the earth, not the meek. Warren, we can't stop now. We have to take the next step.
There is no next step. We gambled and we lost.
Trust me, darling. Trust me.
Understand we got a letter from Audrey today.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind telling us how she's doing?
Fine, just fine.
Lots of beaux dancing up a storm?
Mm-hmm.
Probably come home engaged to some slick San Franciscan.
Probably.
How's her broken leg coming along?
Fine, just... I'm sorry.
You've been miles away.
Well, a few. Actually, I was thinking about Warren. That was frightening.
Well, when you try and corner the rice markets, you're playing for big stakes. Gamble big, you gotta be prepared to lose big.
Sorry to come busting in, but we got a fire.
Fire? Where?
South section.
How many men you got up there?
About a dozen.
Better pull some men in off that night herd. Come on.
Bob, how did it start?
There was no accident, Mrs. Barkley. We found a drum of kerosene and a tongue hatchet. Excuse me.
Who is it?
I still say it doesn't make any sense. Why would the Tong start the fire when I already told them that I'd sell Mike Chang the rice?
2 days worth of smoke. You two argue it out. I'm gonna take a bath.
Well, maybe they didn't believe you. Maybe they don't trust Mike Chang. Anyway, who says anything they do has to make sense? Jared, they ruined $1,000 worth of crops, and they're gonna pay for it. If we can prove they did it. Prove it? Wouldn't you call a drum of kerosene and a Tong hatchet proof? Left a little conveniently, Nick. Too conveniently.
Jared, Nick.
You wait here, Jared. I'll see if it's all right. Come on. Chen Yu, Mr. Jared Barkley.
My pleasure, Mr. Barkley. Yes, Mr. Barkley. This bag of decaying flesh is the leader of the terrifying Tong. I do not look very dangerous, do I? Perhaps Mr. Barkley would like a pot of tea.
Mr. Barkley would like only one thing, to know where you're holding my mother.
Your mother?
She disappeared last night while we were fighting the fire you started.
We started no fire on your property, Mr. Barkley. You are our friend, or so our mutual friend, Mr. Chang, tells us.
I consider myself a friend of the Chinese people, but believe me, I'm no friend of the Tong.
The terrorist Tong. The bloodthirsty Tong. I conceded, Mr. Barkley. At times, we are forced to violence. Forced by those whites who will not allow for change. Who will not allow our people to better themselves peacefully. There are people who cannot move but by force. We will move them. But not you, Mr. Barkley. To our friends, we offer our friendship. And if needed, our help. I'm sorry to hear about your mother, Mr. Barkley. But she is not a guest in the house of Chen Yu.
Let go! Nick, you were supposed to stay away from
I know what I was
You
supposed
just
to
had
do.
Come busting in. Nick, I don't think she's here.
You don't
Now,
think
trust
she's...
me. My apologies. Come on, let's get out of here. Hello, Janet.
I came out just as soon as I'd heard what happened. Oh, Jared, it's awful, just awful.
Yes.
What time did it happen? We left here last night before midnight.
You and Warren were here last night?
As soon as we heard about the fire, naturally, we rode out to see if we could do anything to help. You and the boys had already left, so we kept Victoria company till, I'd say about 10 or 11 o'clock. Oh, Jared, it's the Tong. Look, have their leader arrested. Charge him with murder if Victoria isn't returned within 24 hours.
It doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't have any reason to kidnap her. They already knew they could have our rice.
You mean they knew they couldn't have it?
What do you mean by that?
Jared, when we arrived last night, your mother invited us upstairs. In the distance, we could see the fire burning. She said to Warren, I'd as soon those two ships with all the rice in them sunk at sea as sell it to them.
She said that.
She was angry. As angry as I've ever seen her, and with justification. Anyway, she asked Warren to draw up an informal contract, which she signed, selling us your 2 shiploads of rice.
The Tong wouldn't have any way of knowing about that.
Your mother must have said something.
Where is that contract? I'd like to see it.
Well, right now, it's with Warren in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Naturally, Warren had to begin making arrangements to dispose of the rice. Those ships arrive in a day or two, don't they?
Yes, yes.
Jared, I beg you. The Tong decided to get back at you.
Well, maybe I'll talk to the sheriff when he gets back.
You know, if there's anything I can do, anything. You know I speak Chinese.
Yes, I know.
And Key, perhaps he could be of some help. You know, he's had some experience with the Tong.
Yes, but at the moment, there's nothing.
Jared, she may still be alive. Don't wait too long, I beg you. Let's go, Key.
Warren. What happened?
There. Now, it's all right. It's all right.
I get here?
Don't you remember anything?
Well, I remember hearing a sound at the door, and someone came in, and a handkerchief. They put a handkerchief...
Soaked in chloroform. We smelled it when we found you. But you're safe here. Tong can't touch you here.
Tong?
Yes, we saw them as we rode up. It's a good thing we came when we did, too. I've no doubt they'd have... You were unconscious on the bedroom floor. We brought you here. Now, you've got to make your stand, Victoria. You can't do business with terrorism. If they can blackmail you into giving them or selling them your rice, none of us is safe. I've written up this informal agreement between us, pledging your rice to me. It's very informal. It just gives me the right to purchase.
Oh, Warren, I can't sign that.
You must. Well, not for my sake, but to prove that we live in a country where terror does not rule.
Well, I can't sign that without first talking to Jared. You see, we've pledged our rice to Mike Chang.
Yes, to the sanctified Chinese League. Import opium, sell their women into prostitution.
That's not true.
Who pretend to oppose the Tong while secretly financing it?
Well, you proved that to my satisfaction and Jared's.
Oh, Mike Chang has manipulated and sweet-talked Jared to the point where Jared couldn't possibly judge the truth.
Then I'll judge the truth, but from facts, not from innuendo and slander.
Now, I respect your motives, Victoria. You're concerned about the plight of the poor Chinese peasant. Well, that's very laudable. That's Christian. You consider the poor Chinese peasant objective, you know. While they work as coolies and take jobs away from white laborers. That cup of rice you give them comes out of the mouth of people like us, our kind.
Oh, you can't possibly believe that.
Well, they tried to murder you. Janet and I saved your life. You start with that and figure whether you owe your rice to them or to me. Now, you sign this, and then I'll take you home.
No, you take me home first, and then...
I can't do that, Victoria.
What do you mean you can't do it?
Now, please, Victoria, I beg, if you sign this, please...
Let me go!
Janet.
She'll be all right. Take her downstairs.
No, Janet, no.
Put her in the storeroom.
Jared? Jared?
Any luck?
Well, we got 4 posses looking. We're going to keep looking.
Where's he?
He took some men up to Gold Town to check out those abandoned mines. I don't suppose anyone's gotten in touch with you yet.
No, nobody.
Oh, she's been kidnapped. We sure got a ransom note by this time. I still say it points to the Tong.
Maybe, Nick. Maybe. But I had a little visit from Janet Masters this afternoon.
Oh, yeah? What about?
Well, she said that Mother finally decided to sell Warren the rice.
What?
Yeah, claimed she was so angry over the Tong setting the fire that she was going to pay him back. Pay him back by punishing a lot of innocent Chinese.
Now, that doesn't make sense.
Of course it doesn't. That's what started me thinking. Nick, if you were Warren Masters, you saw a whole life's dream, a fortune, going down the drain. And you were desperate because somebody wouldn't give you something you needed. What would you do?
It's been 3 days now, Janet.
I'm aware of that, Warren.
Without food, without water, we'll kill her.
Not before she signs that contract.
I don't want to be a murderer, Janet. Don't make me part of a murder.
When we took her, you knew it wouldn't be easy.
I didn't think it would come to this. Thought we could persuade her.
Well, it's come to this.
It's not too late. We can let her go.
You're soft, Warren. Inside. You never had to fight for anything, not even to stay alive.
The night they came to dinner and she had a headache, you put her to sleep, you hypnotized her.
When she woke up, the headache was gone. That would be easy. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Warren? Unfortunately, even hypnotized people won't do things against their will. And Victoria doesn't want to sign that contract.
Try, please.
It won't work. But everyone has a breaking point. We'll find Victoria's.
Victoria? Sorry Janet did that. Why are you so unreasonable?
Warren, I can't believe this is happening. I simply can't believe it is. We've been friends for so long.
Victoria, sign this paper.
If you need money, we'll lend it to you.
Sign it before it's too late.
Too late.
Before Janet takes over. Remember when you were at our house? She put you to sleep. She took away your headache. Well, Janet can do things like that. She has the power to heal or to hurt, and she can hurt you. She can torture you in ways that you and I couldn't even imagine.
Then you take me out of here now.
I can't do that. Please sign this paper. Sign it now, or we'll both be sorry.
Well?
She's not going to sign, Janet.
I thought you might like a drink of water. Victoria, you're all but perishing for a drink of water and some food. So let's be reasonable. I hate being cruel. Why don't you give in, Victoria? This is insane.
It is, isn't it? Janet, I think I understand the pressure you and Warren are under. I can understand. And I can forget. We all can forget this ever happened. If you'll just untie me and let me go home.
Nothing would make me happier. And it will be done as soon as you sign that paper.
No, I can't sign.
You are a stubborn woman. Very well, then. I'll leave this glass of water right there. And we'll give you just a little more time to think this over. All right, Key. That should hurry your thinking a little. All right, Warren, let's go. Wake up, Victoria. You're not going to sleep, Victoria. Not while you're here. Does the light bother you? I saw it used often by the terrorists in China. Simple but effective. Particularly when a person is hungry and thirsty. The mind begins to lose its hold. Would you like to do something for me, Victoria? We could notify your family, have them take you home. Would you like that, Victoria? I brought this whip down with me. I hoped I wouldn't have to use it. I hoped that by now you'd see how useless it is to prolong this, how unnecessary. Can't hold out forever, you know. A day or two more and you'll start to lose all reason. You'll beg me to let you sign it. So why not give in now? Say something. Do you want to suffer? Say something. Is that what you want? Mm. And all you have to do is to sign that paper. You will do that, won't you, Victoria?
Yes, I'll sign. I'll sign. Please. Oh, please, I'm trying. Please.
Victoria, I'm so glad. So very glad.
Oh.
There.
Stop it! Stop it, you'll kill her! I said stop it!
I thought I'd broken her. She fooled me. But she won't fool me again. Take her downstairs.
What do you want? What do you want?
We'd like to see Mrs. Masters.
Out here.
What do you mean she's not here? It's after midnight.
Do not know.
What are you so nervous about?
It's late. You woke me up. Come back tomorrow, please. I know nothing. Nothing.
You know nothing about what?
Nothing about this matter. Nothing about this rice and your mother's disappearance. I know nothing.
Now, Key, we're old friends with your mistress, good friends. She told us that you'd help us in any way you can.
We just want you to answer a few questions. That shouldn't be too much to ask now, should it, Key?
I want you to understand something else. Our mother's life may be at stake.
I said I know nothing about your mother. You go see the Tong.
We've already been there. Now, if you don't care about our mother's life, you think about your people, Key. What'll happen to them if the Masters buy up all the rice?
A lot of them could serve.
But the Masters are good people.
know anything, you just best tell us.
I cannot. I know nothing. I say I know nothing. I don't care what you do.
Hey, Nick. Won't do any good.
I said nothing.
We heard.
You said nothing and told them everything.
Go on to your room, Key.
Please forgive.
Go on.
Janet, I know those boys, and they'll be back.
Let them.
Let them.
When they come back, if they come back, it will all be settled.
You're sure of that?
I'm sure of that.
Wish you could convince her. Why doesn't she give up?
She will.
Days.
Sit down.
I can't sit down.
Just a little more time, Warren. Try to be a man for just a little longer.
Janet, if she signs,
You mean when she signs?
can we just let her go?
Yes. We'll just make her promise not to tell her sons what happened, not to tell the law. You know perfectly well we can't let her go. Victoria knows it, too. That's why she's fighting so hard.
I dreamed it would come to this.
You knew all along it would come to this. There was no other way. Just didn't have the courage to face it. Don't worry. I'll take care of everything.
How?
I said I'd take care.
Tell me how.
Very well. You can rest easy. Victoria's tragic death will be relatively painless. She'll be found near the house of the Tong. Found dead. With the smell of an ancient oriental poison on her lips.
Key was lying, you know that.
I know it.
What the devil are we doing here in this office, then?
Waiting, Nick. Just waiting. Have a drink.
Waiting for what? I'll tell you something. We never should have left that house. We should have...
What? Tried to beat the truth out of Key? That wouldn't have worked, and you know it.
It would have been worth a try.
We haven't given up. All I'm waiting for is a chance to get back into that house without being seen.
You think they're holding Mother there?
I'd just like to have a little look around.
All right. If it doesn't work, I'm going after Key. God pity him if he doesn't come up with the right answers.
Please turn off the light. Please, please.
Soon, Victoria, soon. Just as soon as you sign that paper, Warren will come downstairs and he'll take you home. Home to sleep in your own bed. All this will be a bad dream, nothing more.
I beg you, turn off the light, please.
I will. But first things first.
Help me, please. I'll do anything. I'll sign anything. Just help me, please.
There's the pencil and the paper waiting. And this time there'll be no tricks.
Come on.
Are you all right?
Yes,
What happened?
Nick, get a doctor quickly.
All right.
It's all right, Janet. It's all right, Janet.
She's dead, Warren.
No, she's not dead. She'll be all right.
Janet. Janet, darling. Janet. Janet.
Well, well. I'd say she looks just about as good as new, wouldn't you, Nick?
Bet she's got some kind of secret.
No secret. Just the love of my family. Jared, have you seen Warren?
Yes. He'll stand trial next week. I know how you feel. You think he's suffered enough. But you've got to understand, he not only committed a crime against you, he committed a crime against the state.
Isn't there anything you can do?
Well, I can ask the prosecuting attorney for leniency and hope that he listens. But that's all.
Oh, I'll get it. Oh, Mike, come on in. Look who's here.
Well, why isn't everyone dressed and ready to go?
Where?
Dressed for what?
We're celebrating Chinese New Year. You're guests of honor. Where's Heath?
Well, he's out on the range, isn't he?
Get him and then get going, all of you. That's an order.
Oh, wait a minute, Mike. Didn't we celebrate Chinese New Year's last month?
That was last month. Today, we're celebrating the very grateful purchase of 2 boatloads of rice. That's a New Year's gift for many of my people.
Well, how shall we dress?
Strictly for pleasure. And pleasure, I promise you.
Oh, really?
Succulent Chinese sweetmeats, dancing in the streets, spinning pinwheels of light to color the sky a rainbow, fireworks.
Oh, Well, do you mind if I skip the fireworks?